everybody. Welcome back to Heirloom Permaculture. It's John here. I'm out in the front garden, neighborhood garden, community garden. We've called a lot of different things over the years. Basically it's served as a neighborhood garden for anybody walking around out on the road that wants to stop in and get something to pick when it's ripe or whatever. So we're going to be making a major overhaul to it. It's kind of gotten away from us. I don't know if you can see what's going on. So we've had a couple different looks to the front of it here. We started to shrink it down this year. I think what we're going to do now, we're going to make an even bigger change to it. So probably going to move a little bit of stuff around from the front. We're going to kind of shift the community area back a little bit, and it's going to look totally different when we're done. It's going to be smaller in stature, a little lower maintenance. It's going to serve the same purpose. It's going to be a higher percentage perennial, a little less area for annual. We had people using it. We didn't have it just inundated, so I think it can stand to be a little smaller and have less go to waste. Also, as you can see, I don't know if you can see a lot of this. We're in Oklahoma, right? We're in northeast Oklahoma, extremely hot, dry summers. So Bermuda grass is the main thing that we deal with, that we fight, no matter what type of garden you have, how you go after it. But I will say that this deep mulch up here was really an utter failure in a big part of the garden, and it's our fault. It's not the method. We didn't execute it like we should have, because when we had the opportunity to get all these wood chips, we weren't expecting it. It just kind of happened upon us. So we didn't have the underlayment to get down under here. This was wood chips directly on grass, on lawn. We didn't do anything to prep the ground. We didn't do any kind of occultation to kill the Bermuda. We weren't going to spray. We didn't have paper or cardboard or anything to put down. It was kind of a, hey, this is available, but it's now, we got to take it. So you've seen the process of how we built this, and since then we've been fighting the Bermuda. We've tried several different things. We've used clove oil spray, we've added more mulch, we've used cover crop. We've got parts of it where it's working real well, and that's the area we're going to focus on for production. This area up here, we're back and forth. We've talked about ordering silage tarps to cover it and try to reset it. We've talked about trying the different sprays that are available now that are organic, different fatty acid spray, anything to strip the surface of the grass to try to kill it. We've had really low success with a lot of that, because the best time to do it is also the best growing time. So to have both things going at the same time, you're really risking, hindering and hurting the plants that you're trying to grow. So what we've decided is, with our long-term plans and what we're trying to accomplish in here and the usage we've had, what we're going to do, I hate to give too much away. I kind of want you to just kind of stick around and see what we do. But we're going to kind of not fight nature so much on it. And we're going to maximize what it's trying to do naturally. So we're going to come in here and, like I said, make some changes, move some stuff around, and really capitalize on what it's wanting to do and what will serve what we think is the best purpose for right now. So stick around. It's kind of a long intro here to what we're going to be doing, but that's where we're at, and we're going to show you the changes we got to make, and kind of where things went wrong and where we're going to try to get them to go right. So hang out with us.
Do you want to keep using some of this wood as border, right up around up to the soil? Just pile it up nicely.
Well, we're going to pull that off. So. So right now we're getting all this firewood edging out of the way, just getting it set out of the way, and you'll see why here in a minute. Overshot. I'm way wider than
There I think that's what's holding on to it is grass root.
about where it was, but definitely not playing it high. Put the T-post on this side probably.
Which side?
On this one over here.
Yeah.
Because right now dominant winds will be storm winds. They'll be out of the south or southwest, maybe northwest, but over this way anyways.
Yeah.
So
Stick it on that side.
stick it over here.
Big enough. There's some dirt clods right there. You want to make sure you those in.
What are you gonna do with it?
I don't either. I almost don't even care.
Didn't flower.
And I'm gonna say if we're gonna move it, either right here where all the tools are, or kind of over on that other side where the kind of the lemongrass was and it failed. Might be kind of pretty over there, but
It ain't gonna flower till we want it back in there.
I don't know. The other one didn't flower either, did it? I mean, it's pretty, just added green, but I really almost don't even care.
Go up there.
Do we want to put it up there? Kind of where between?
Like closer to the edge.
On the other side of the elderberry?
Between the elderberry and comfrey, but over close somewhat to the edge.
Yeah, we can. Oops, that didn't work. We're going up first. Go redig this hole.
Still replant it.
It might. I like that there actually. Get the shovel. Go behind me.
Is it?
Just needs to be bigger. Rocks.
So this is the soil, if you want to call it that was excavated out of this swale when we built it. So you can see the quality of the soil out here. This was this whole area. Lots of rocks, big sandstone piece there. Actually under parts of this area there was basically exposed bedrock. So, but if you look at that, give me a handful of it. Whatever you can spare. Versus over here where we dug it up. You can see the difference. So we've greatly improved the ground out here. And obviously the Bermuda is proving that. So. But moving everything out of the way, all this is going to look way different. Alright, so kind of talk about what we're actually going to do. We're going to bring this weed fabric all the way down the side of this berm, and then we're actually going to put a layer right on top. Also, we're going to cut through, plant some ground cover. They'll spread over the whole thing. I might work in a couple of little things. And then from this little walkway here, it's going to come across solid with fabric, and everything this down here outside of that bed is going to have it. And then we're going to come back on top of all of it with mulch again. The bed will stay about the same size. It may creep out just a little bit as we pull it up onto the fabric. And then down here, bring this down, cut this off here, maybe run a piece up through there. I don't know if we're going to try to put it all around everything up here. This is actually, we'll keep a bed around all of this. It'll come up closer though, around the tree, and then back up to there. You can see right here is where the edge of it used to be. This will get pulled back and then go down, tie in here. And how far we bring this edging back with mulch, kind of undecided. But basically all this area in here is going to go back to grass. So we'll be able to mow it. It's going to be a little elevated versus the lower areas. You can see the dark line over there where it stays wet. We get water. We get water flowing down, of course, through there. But that stays really wet a lot longer. You can probably actually even see the shine. The water's still running. And so this will be up a little higher. It'll dry out faster. With all the wood chips, it'll be moist, but it won't be muddy, soggy. So you could even get up here and, we could use this as an outdoor classroom. We could do whatever with it. It's going to go back to where we'll actually be mowing it, rather than trying to maintain plants and everything on it. So we got talking about it. This is, and Angela saying, oh, well, kind of explain, tying it into the permaculture and the zoning. We'd kind of installed this and designed it as more of a really kind of zone 1 garden, and it's too far away from the house. It's the opposite direction of our true zone 1, where our kitchen garden and our animals, usually your animals are in kind of a zone 2, but because we're out there several times a day, it really works out to be a zone 1 for us. So we're in the barn 2-3 times a day. We're out in the garden several times a day. So zone 0 is inside the house, right there. Zone 1, several trips a day. So this area was not getting several trips a day. There could be days in between us coming out here. So at best, it's a zone 2, but it's really more of a zone 3. So we need to design it, install it with the expectation that it will maintain that frequency of us being in it. So that's what we're trying to do now. It's smaller. It's going to have a lot less in it than we'd originally planned, but I think it's going to be appropriate to the usage that we've seen. So it was a nice try. I wouldn't call it an absolute failure of a design, because it did get used some, like we talked about, but it became more of a liability than a resource, because if we didn't stay out here and stay on top of it, it wasn't going to be self-sustaining the way it was. So we had to. Got a red wasp buzzing me. I don't want to smack him, but I might have to. So that's what we're going to try to do with it, and get the mower up here, take care of it. The picnic table's going to stay. It's going to go over on an area with fresh mulch with weed fabric under it, so we don't have to worry about weed eating around it or anything. So that's what's going to happen, and you'll see it as we move along. Alright y'all, I think we're going to call it a day. I'll walk you through what we've got done and show you. It's about 5 o'clock. We haven't eaten since about 7:30 this morning, and somebody just fired up their grill, so it's kind of torture.
It's not fair.
Can you smell that? Here.
I need food.
Somebody's grilling burgers or something. So, but walk you around a little bit, show you what we've done. This is kind of part one of this. We got a lot done, but there's still a lot to do. I mean, we're going to have to go get a bunch of mulch. There's I don't even know if I'd venture to say we're half done. Maybe. I
don't know. This is going to be more than one process, more than one day for sure.
So it's supposed to storm tomorrow. Pretty good chance of severe storms. So we got a good chunk done. Probably, I don't know, we're going to get back out here before next weekend because we got to get some more fabric down. I'll show you that before we get mulch. And getting in here with mulch, I don't want to wheelbarrow it all the way from the road, so might need this ground to dry up a little bit.
I think we have rain 3 out of the next 4 days at least.
They're saying we could get several inches tomorrow and the next day, so we may be done out here for the remainder of the week.
Right.
And even chance of rain on the weekend, but we'll get to part 2 and show you that as soon as we can. So I'll go ahead and walk you through here and show you what it is. So hopefully you can see this well. I know there's a shadow on it, but we brought the edge out, feathered it out a little bit, where I'll be able to get the mower up, keep it mowed without having to weed eat the edge. So all this is leveled back out. Brought this bed, or what's now basically a bed, in quite a bit here. So none of this was like this before. It was just a part of the mass. So we'll get the rest of this wood out of here to another spot. We've got to use what we could to make the border. Still got peach tree. It's a Ranger peach with comfrey around it. See peaches on there. So it's pretty well loaded. Elderberry. Move some irises over here. All of this is going to be covered. Everything down on the plane of the ground will be mulch. Up on the berm we'll put another layer of fabric up there, and then we'll have a ground cover that grows over all that, because mulch won't stay on that with the slick fabric. This again all be grass. It will be a little narrow strip of mulch through here that we can use as a walkway if we need be. It's going to come around. This will all be mulch, and then there'll be a mulch path. We'll continue after we get fabric down. We'll continue with the border here and make a little over 3 foot wide path around, and the path will go all the way around that bed, and it'll be weed fabric with mulch. So you can see we got a lot of mulch to get in here. A lot more of the wood we haven't used yet. We'll need a little bit more, reestablish the rest of these paths and get stuff back where it was, but I'm sure we'll have a lot more than what we started with, or we'll have a lot left over because we won't need as much. So we'll find a use for that depending on what we need. Might build a little Permaculture bed or something like that. But there'll be more stuff in here. We'll clean this bed up a little bit. Still got little remnants of cover crop showing. We'll take care of that. Get some more stuff moved in here. Move around the trellis a little bit. We got the berries growing there. We did move that one apple tree. Kind of hate moving it when it's in full fruit, but it couldn't stay where it was at. So hopefully it'll weather well, and we won't lose all those apples on there. It's a young tree. It's only its 2nd year in the ground, so if it loses all of its fruit, it's really not that big a deal. It'll just put more energy into growing rather than producing fruit. So it'd be a loss for us and the neighbors, but it'd be a gain for the tree. So you can see the yarrow back there, spice bush, more iris, comfrey, goji berry. That comfrey's looking a little beat down because it was transplanted today. A couple days it'll bounce back. And we got service berries. Got a lot of grass in the swell. You see it's still holding water. It just rained quite a bit yesterday, so it takes about 4 to 5 days for all that to percolate and go away. Just short enough to stay out of the mosquito life cycle, but it holds it and lets it get in the ground good. So obviously we're going to get a lot more rain. This thing's not going to dry out anytime soon. We'll have a lot of water moving into it though, stirring it up and help everything out here, especially with stuff we've transplanted. So Kiefer pear, Santa Rosa plum, Golden Delicious, Molly's Delicious, Ranger Peach, Elderberry, that's what all's out here. And we'll put some more stuff out here. There won't be a lot of room for annuals, but again, like we talked about earlier, that's kind of the objective right now, is we're getting this a little more away from the annual garden and more of a self-sustaining perennial. It'd be a small percentage of annuals probably. We just met our new neighbors. You all watching, it's nice meeting you, and they're interested in taking advantage of this garden, so we'll make sure that maybe there's something out here to until they can get their garden established. Maybe we can help them with that, and they can have some veggies from over here. So those things, plant, you never know, plants change. Maybe we'll put a couple tomato plants out here and peppers or something to have those available for them. But again, part one, we'll come back to part two as we get that opportunity. So she's, oh, you're transplanting?
I am. I couldn't stand it.
So
Nothing on this side and one growing in a very weird
so we planted
spot.
one boysenberry down there. It's spreading. It shot up a sprout about 1.5 feet from the trellis, so she dug it up and moving to this end, they'll go up the other side of the trellis.
Yeah.
And this was just a trimming off a cattle panel. When we built the cattle panel greenhouse, I told you we had to cut the 6 inches off of one panel, and that's what that is. When I cut that off, I trimmed off the little pieces sticking out, and rather than just wad it up and get rid of it, we brought it out here and made a little trellis for a berry bush. So you know, fine line between saving something to use and becoming a pack rat, but if you can find a use for it, you might as well do it. So
Works in this spot.
all right, y'all, we're gonna let you go. We're gonna go get a bite to eat, and this video is probably gonna be long enough as it is. So hopefully we keep it under about, I don't know, 45 minutes or something like that. But we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.